are we that stupid that we're all sitting around waiting for a dog whistle or just, oh, he said this, stand by and do that. That must mean I should get my AR and go break in. Like, are we really that dumb? Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions,
but we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm Brian.
Hey, let's pull the pin.
Somebody didn't steal your line this time.
I know, right? That darn Nate, I tell you.
Yeah, do something about that. Yeah, we'll have to get him back in his cornhole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an inside joke. Maybe nobody will understand that.
No, nobody's going to get that.
All right, so anyway, Mike, what are we going to talk about today?
Navy thing.
Oh, yeah, no. He's not Navy, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, let's talk about how people are saying that in reference to the protesters who stormed the Capitol building. They're saying Trump incited that mob to do that.
Isn't that like it's all tied now? Like, isn't that why they want to impeach him? And that's why they all in the speeches, they were all about, holy cow, like this is his fault. Yeah, so it's all kind of tied together. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, everybody's saying it's his fault. He told people to march on him and march on the building, and yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had a part in it.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just he can't lose, man. You know what I mean? And his supporters are right behind him, and they're trying everything they can to keep him in office. So it's like, you know, I don't know. I think I think you've got extremes on each side. You got extremes on the right, extremes on the left. The media wants to play like, oh, the liberals are like, you know, they're peaceful protesting, but now that this happened, now they're like, oh my gosh, they're taking over the Capitol, and Trump had everything to do with it. I don't think he was completely had everything to do with it, but I think he had his place.
You know, you guys ever watch SpongeBob? All I can think about when you make those comments is that one episode where Plankton, you know, the little plankton thing, he just put everybody helmets on everybody, and they all walk around, all hail Plankton, all hail, you know, like they're under some mind control.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I saw that. I think it's another YouTubers, might have been those Hodge twins guys. I like those guys; they're funny. They were talking about, like, you know, are we that stupid that we're all sitting around waiting for a dog whistle or just, oh, he said this, stand by and do that. That must mean I should get my AR and go break in. Like, are we really that dumb? Like, Brian, I kind of understand what you're saying is he may be the motivation behind it, but he doesn't make my decision. I believe in what he's doing. I didn't go to the Capitol. I didn't go break a window. So what separates me from these other people?
How many people were there?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
A couple 100,000, I heard.
Right. How many people went in the Capitol?
Probably a handful.
Yeah.
What's a handful though, compared to a couple 100,000?
Like thousands.
There were thousands.
Oh, that went in?
Yes.
That went no. Maybe a couple hundred.
Was
there's
there
always there's always the nutcases. There's always, it's on the left and on the right. There's always going to be the nutcases. Somebody's going to push the limit because we get rambunctious. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you're at. The psychology talks about that what's that called when you're around other people and you do things that are, you know what I mean, you normally wouldn't do because one person starts it. You got one. Yeah,
like some crowd theory kind of thing, right? Some crowd theory.
Yeah. So I think sometimes that just gets out of control. You know what I mean? Like, everybody gets motivated. Everybody gets passionate about things that they like. Just like, you know, there's things that you're passionate about, Jim. I'm sure, Mike, there's things you're passionate about politically. And then it just takes the right guy to spark it off, and then everybody's off. I mean, personally, me, I wouldn't even get near that thing. Because I don't even want to be stuck around 200,000 people, you know what I mean, and not be able to get out. I mean,
and that goes to another point. Let's talk about intent. Like, let's just say, Mike, you wanted to go to this rally. Let's just say you wanted to show your support for what you thought was a stolen election, whatever. You know, would you don your black outfit and battle gear? Like, I mean, who does that? Like, obviously if you're putting on this stuff, you're going there for a problem.
Yeah.
And you're
It's
an
an ego
experienced
thing.
rioter.
Yeah. I don't know. If you put on the black fatigues, that means you're going there looking for a problem.
Well, I'm talking about the full gear. You know, they've got
Uh-huh.
chest protectors. They got all
Oh,
this
okay.
stuff. Like even when they had the march with all the Second Amendment stuff, you know, these
Mhm.
guys in their little combat suits. That's all
Yeah.
cute and all, and that's, you know, a nice little show of force. But none of those people broke in anywhere and did anything. They didn't
Right.
jump on the front line, start messing with police and that stuff. That was just their little cute way of saying, "Look, we're armed and we're prepared."
Yeah.
But these guys different. You know, you saw them, they showed up with a shield. The guy who broke the window had a police shield. Did he take it off one of the cops or did he bring it?
Yeah. Don't know.
Like if you're bringing a shield and a gas mask, you're clearly expecting something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's one thing I want to add to that though. I think we do underestimate the power and the words of somebody like the president. I think we really do underestimate it because we do have people that follow blindly. We have people that are, people that don't think probably the clearest when it comes to things. So you can take any words, especially with him, who's not very tactful in the way he presents himself. You know what I mean? And he'll shoot somebody down in a heartbeat, and he's never wrong. So you got that, and then now you got somebody that really follows him, and you know what I mean? Just a nutcase on the right, and then all of a sudden he's acting out because he thinks that's what Trump wants. You know what I mean? Because he's interpreting that. Because Trump is pretty,
Yeah, but
aggressive.
yeah, but if just because the agitator or protester, whatever, thinks that's what Trump's want, is that Trump's fault? You know, did he say something to make him think that or make them think that?
I
You
think
know,
Maxine Waters gave more of a command to go out and approach these people in restaurants and things. She did a command literally telling people to do this stuff.
Well,
so
So
maybe some people just said, hey, since they can do that, this is what they want. Now we don't get our way. We're going to practice what they preach.
right, but I'm merely saying like maybe Trump. I mean, you can misinterpret. We've had this discussion about stand by, stand down, whatever. You can
Yeah.
interpret that whatever way you want, but he didn't say, "Hey, go to this rally, break in, and disrupt the whole thing." He didn't say that.
Right.
But when you have something like fraud going on, and people are thinking that the democracy has been, what is that word? When democracy's been compromised in some fashion, you're going to have people that are going to act irate. You know what I mean? Because they're like, whoa, because we as a people, we rely on that. That's our foundation is the democracy. So when you start questioning that, of course, you're going to have people that are thinking, oh my gosh, this is all fake. But yet in the court, how come he hasn't won a court case? How come there hasn't been any sufficient movement in that? Is that because it's all corrupt, or is it really because it's anecdotal evidence and there's not really a 100%?
Well, some people would say that's the establishment taking care of the establishment.
Yeah, and we're going down a bigger rabbit hole when we're talking about that, because now you're going to talk about evidence and why the establishment, all this. I mean, the simple fact to me is that Trump can't be blamed any more than LeBron saying the cops are hunting down black people. It could be an irresponsible thing to say, and people could take it the wrong way. So I do understand how that could incite crazy people who are already on the edge. But at the end result is, unless you specifically tell them to go do something, all you're doing is agitating them. And I know people in my life from daily that can agitate me every day.
Yeah, but getting back to Brian's point about people are fed up, and some people might think this election was stolen, or now our democracy, as he stated, is compromised. And I had a conversation on Facebook about this yesterday and today, and say I'm sorry, I got to call BS on that, because after every election, at least the presidential election, one team is screaming foul. So now people are screaming foul and saying that Trump, they have documented evidence of, fraudulent counting of votes and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, okay, nobody on the left is listening to him.
Right.
The same way, 4 years ago, nobody on the right listened to the left. Whereas if we do our due diligence all the time, then people will have more faith and confidence in the system.
And the court never even looked at those evidence. So you
Right.
can't even say they presented evidence. Sure, they did. They had all those people stand up, people swore, presented all that stuff. But the affidavits, everything, the courts didn't look at that. They said, oh, you got no standing. Oh, it's too late. Oh, you can't this. So they never made it to the court. Was that?
No, I think you're wrong, Jim. It did
What's
go to
that?
court in several states.
Not Trump's cases get thrown out. They get thrown out for various reasons, but they didn't. There was never any evidence presented. There was only one case.
Okay, you can't have it both ways. Same
do you
thing I
mean?
tell people on the left. You can't have it both ways because, okay, is there any truth to Trump was colluding with the Russians?
Yeah, but there was a 2-year investigation for that.
Okay,
Nobody
so
even
you believe
looked
the
into
investigation?
voter. Well, I didn't think that was real, but they did the investigation. They spent 2
Right.
years and still couldn't find anything.
But still, they presented their
Good
case
point.
to the court. They
No, that was-
presented
no.
their case to the court, and if they had a weak case, the judge can say, "Hey, nah, there's nothing substantial here." So either we're going to believe in the system,
There you go.
right?
Like
If
that.
you're going to believe in the system, now if the judges are throwing the case out, it's a weak case. Why can't that be the case?
Well, look at the Supreme Court one. You think Texas didn't have a good case? You think Texas didn't have a case to say that, because it's happening right now. Right now, Texas.
Even in
what?
Georgia, they had people, like you said, with affidavits, sworn affidavits saying, "Hey, yeah, we were told to do this,"
Well,
and they were counting votes that after the
wait a
polls
minute.
closed and everything.
Wait a minute. I see. This is where I get, and it is convoluted. I'm not going to say it's black and white, but this is where it gets frustrating. Because if we're talking earlier about the establishment, and then you're going to try to pretend like the courts, the judicial system's not a part of the establishment.
No, I'm not pretending anything.
So-
If you're going to sit here and say there was a 2-year investigation, they
Mhm.
didn't find anything, and you still have people out there saying there's still evidence of whatever it was against Trump, whatever, we don't have to revisit it, right?
Mhm.
And they say, well, they did the investigation, they didn't find anything. Maybe they hid it. So you're going to accept that, but you're not going to accept
That didn't go through court. That was a congressional investigation. That didn't go through court.
Okay.
No,
I
you're
love
talking about the
Jim-
judicial system.
I'm talking about anything.
Well, no,
It's still a part of the system. The courts is a part of the system.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man. It's always, what I'm saying is this, and this is what I'm trying to get people to understand on Facebook, man. The only thing I'm saying is there's a double standard. That's
I
all
agree.
I'm saying.
I totally
Yeah,
agree.
that's it.
Sure, I totally
Because
agree.
one team is always going to cry foul, and if you're not going to listen to that team because your team won, then don't expect to be listened to.
I agree, but I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the double standard of what you're listening to. I'm talking about the process itself. You can't just say, okay, well, we don't believe, when you say Trump and Russia collusion, we don't believe. They said it. They said they don't believe it, but yet they still formed a whole congressional, whatever they call them, and they went and investigated it. They went and did it. They didn't, even though they said they didn't agree with it, they didn't believe it, they're wasting their time, they complained the whole way, but they did it.
And how many times have you seen a case go before a judge and the judges say, no, you don't have enough evidence?
Well, I don't sit in court, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So you're saying that these judges have no say whatsoever, just none of them. So you think that the judge is providing the upstanding service as a judge would do, the unbiased.
Am I going to speak like that for all these judges? Absolutely not. But
Right.
I can't prove otherwise, right? So if I'm going to have faith and confidence in this system, somebody
like
brought their case to the judge, then I'm going to say, okay, they took their case to the judge. All of these judges, and you can't say all of them, man, I'm sorry, but all of these judges are kicking this stuff out saying you don't have sufficient evidence.
Well, that's not their only
Yeah,
reason, though. That's not the only reason.
Mike, I like that. I have not even taken that stance before. I haven't even made that logical connection there. That makes great sense, and I never put those together because you're right. If you believe that the investigation came out negative there, right? So you have some faith in the system, but then when it becomes the right side, right? And you look at the evidence, because they did bring it before multiple courts in multiple states with multiple evidence, with multiple, what's his name? Giuliani took that one lady, which was not a good representation,
Right.
but it was pretty hilarious. But there was legitimate ones behind her. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to have faith in the system at some point. And I think that makes a good point for me to take home too, is that, yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to have faith in the system somewhat. Yes, I think, Jim, you're right. You got to challenge it to some extent, right? We got to keep ourselves on our toes. Otherwise we get oblivious and then corruption just gets deeper. But there has to be some faith in the system. And I think that's important with a democracy. And I'm not saying that there wasn't any foul play, but at the same time, maybe this will help, initiate more oversight and more adherence to some kind of plan when the election comes. But
yeah, because to me, I just can't sit here and accept that Georgia,
nobody,
Texas, Pennsylvania,
and nobody took on
nothing. It's like
even a Republican judge or a Republican,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
One of them had to have been.
That much makes it convoluted. But I mean, like, for example, look at Pennsylvania. I even heard the arguments on this when they contested it in the vote count, whatever. Look at Pennsylvania. Was it a violation of Pennsylvania's Constitution what they did? Was it a violation or not? I don't think that's a hard question. They changed the rules. The judicial system and the executive branch in Pennsylvania changed the voting rules. The Constitution of Pennsylvania is about the legislation changes the laws, not the judicial, so they went and changed the rules for this election. So the question is, was it constitutional? And I don't think, I'm not a lawyer. Like I said, I listen to some lawyer YouTubers, and things like that. But I mean, I don't think that's a hard question to answer. Was it constitutional or not? So what you're saying is the judges clearly said it wasn't, but the case wasn't dismissed on constitutional grounds. It was dismissed that you have no standing because you're too late. You weren't affected or you were too late. So they played this little game where you couldn't do it before the election because you weren't affected. But then after the election, it's too late because you can't change it. They played this little game. And I don't think that's what you're saying is I trust the system, but whatever that was, that didn't sound fair. And I think that's the point. People just want to be treated fairly.
I get it. But I got to stick to my guns on this one, man. It's like I don't see you, not you personally, but I don't see anyone screaming foul about the results up in Montana.
Nobody cared about Montana.
That's my point.
Right. Oh no, I agree. I understand.
Yeah. It's like
I was sitting there during the counting. I'm saying, okay, is anybody going to object to any ones that Trump won?
Yeah,
they did.
Exactly. And which would be stupid anyway. It'd be suicide. But my thing is, man, that's why I say not you, but you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry.
No, I agree, but that's what I'm talking about. One standard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. And if you're under, like I said, if we want to break down every case, I'm not qualified to do that.
Right.
But if we want to say that, well, obviously all the cases were thrown out. They weren't all thrown out because of evidence. They weren't. That's a fact. There were a lot of procedural stuff. So that case, that's understandable. And that's something that maybe need to fix in the future.
Right.
But like I said, the simple fact that Pennsylvania was really simple to me, and even Texas has standing because now Kamala Harris is the deciding vote on a tie, and that affects Texas. So that was thrown out without even being heard because of all that, whatever excuses they came up with. That doesn't seem fair to me. They didn't even hear the case. And that was the Supreme Court.
Why did they not hear the full case?
I don't know the exact write-up. I heard it. The guy went over it, but he was saying the same thing. It was his whole opinion was that they were afraid they didn't want to get involved. And I even heard that in a lot of the Democrats or opposition against Pennsylvania, it wasn't constitutional. It was about the risk of affecting our democracy. Well, we can't risk our democracy by getting involved in fair elections. That was the stance. That's talk to me. That's not.
I agree.
That you're talking about. You're talking about procedure. So if the judge said, nope, this, you can't do it, get out. What if that was you? Like, what if that was you and you were arrested and you went into court and the judge did that to you? You'd be like, oh, well, it's system. I trust the judge. No, that's why we have appeals. That's why we have all kinds of other processes.
And if he wanted to appeal, I would be for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think some of the appeals,
he's doing.
Yeah, I think some of the appeals are.
I think he's doing everything in his power and authority to challenge it, to find the right people, to put Rudy Giuliani on it. You know what I mean? He's doing everything he can. And if you have that much power and you're president of the United States and you can challenge this, you can challenge in every way possible without worrying about funding, I mean, somebody would have to give, I would think. Statistically, you would think somebody would give and be on his side and be like, yeah, look, it looks legit.
Who's on his side? I mean, even the people inside his cabinet are not on
There's
his
still
side.
people fighting for him. There's still people fighting for Democrats.
Right. Not a lot of people.
Governors and stuff. Yeah. So I'm saying there's somebody would have given, I would feel somebody would have given by now. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think all those people that signed affidavits that could go to jail are giving. I mean, to me,
but Jim,
Trump or not,
I don't doubt for a second that there isn't any kind of foul play or, team playing and stuff like that. You're not going to eliminate that. I don't think you ever will. But I think this would be a good time to update the system, to get a little more precise with it. It shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, come on, man. We can do these Zoom meetings. We can do, I mean, you can go to, it seems too ridiculous that we can't find a better way to do it.
Well, I'm not even trying to take a side, Brian. I mean, well, it sounds like I am, but ultimately what I'm saying is why not investigate it? Why is it not worth at least looking into?
They are.
Who?
Yeah.
Who's investigating?
They're taking it to the courts, brother.
No, that's not an investigation. The whole Trump collusion was started on a rumor at a bar in some other country, and it was investigated.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, I'm worried because that goes back to Mike was saying about the conference.
It is looked at. It depends how you're looking at it. It's the perspective on it. It is getting
looked at. Even after that 2-year investigation, hey, no evidence was found. You had people out there screaming, saying, well, they didn't look at this. They just threw this out. They didn't, so it's the same thing as what I'm saying. Well, it's the same thing, man.
I know what you're saying. You're saying people are the same, and it doesn't matter what the investigation found. That's what it sounds like you're saying. And I'm saying at least if you did the investigation and people did the same thing, then we can say, okay, well, people did the same thing. We expect that.
Well, no, I think the investigation in this sense is you have a chance to appeal right now, or you can fight it, or you can drop your lawsuit. Go ahead. That's legal. Drop your lawsuit. For whatever reason, judge threw it out, you missed the deadline or whatever it is, there's a system in place. And he's not winning any of his lawsuits, or he didn't win any of the lawsuits.
So let me ask this then. So you believe there's an establishment, right?
Yeah.
So do you think the establishment supports him, or?
Oh, hell no.
So you think the establishment will do everything within their power, in their tentacles, and make sure none of this stuff goes through and he looks bad?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if that's ever proven.
Right, but how would you prove it?
I don't know.
Nobody's going to prove it because nobody's going to investigate it, and the people who believe it are the ones that's being shut down. Like
I have faith that there is somebody in that system that has the integrity that would maintain their integrity, especially some of the judges. I mean, going up to I get what you're saying, the corruption in the system, but I think there's somebody there that would hold their integrity.
You're saying one of those people, right? Because I think in one of those cases, he did draw a good judge, a conservative judge that, was Trump, whatever. He did draw that, but that might have been the Pennsylvania one where it was thrown out because of standing, because the whole back and forth. But would you want to be that judge? Would you want to be that judge?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, here it is. Look, you don't need any more proof. Trump was apparently removed from Facebook, shut down on Twitter. He's being silenced. When have you ever seen that? When have you seen that?
Well, when have you seen where, and I'm still looking for it, to be honest with you, where they say he incited the mob?
Sure.
Right? So then they're saying that's why they shutting him off. You never seen that. When have you seen a president get on social media the way he does? You haven't never seen that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's like we're living in a different time now. You know.
Yeah, but if that's not proof to the establishment, then I don't know what else is. Why would you silence the guy if nobody believes him? Why shut
social media?
Yeah.
Dude, he could call a press conference anytime he wants.
Yeah, but they won't air it.
What
are you serious?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Has it happened yet?
Yes.
He had a press conference.
Mainstream media's. Oh, go look. There's videos all out there. Mainstream. Oh, we can't listen to these lies. We're going to go to something else.
But they still aired it.
No, they didn't. They
just cut him early.
Oh, right. They cut him early. You're right.
And
Good
it's
answer.
still there.
They
The whole
aired
thing
the
is
first 30 seconds. They did, I swear.
Nah, see, I'm
Yes.
thinking you're saying that nobody showed up.
No. They showed
That's how
up.
they silenced
The
them. Nobody
news
wants to
media
hear.
won't air it.
But Fox News will show the whole thing. So don't worry. It's
Not
out there.
anymore. Not anymore. They won't. Oh, it'll be out there for sure. But then
Yeah.
what do? You put it on social media, and then social media says, no, you can't watch it. You can't see it.
Oh, man. I can't wait for Biden to take office.
Oh, I can't wait either. But
Woo! Come on, man. We're going to get them assault rifles, baby.
well, they're already sold out. So
Better start getting AKs and burying them motherfuckers.
I went to look for more today so I can get Mike a present, and they're like the price increase is like ridiculous.
Hey, I'm sorry, but I can't wait for him to take off as well, and maybe it's for a different reason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch him like a hawk.
What's it matter? It doesn't matter because you could call out the same stuff and be like, no, that's different. This is for a just cause. This is
Yeah. That's what the left is gonna say. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's I think ties it all back to like what we're talking about. Like, I could totally understand. Like, I don't understand it either. If all these people are saying, oh, you don't have enough evidence, or oh, that's not good enough, but yet all these other people are signing affidavits, there's a conflict to me. One of those has to be not true.
Yeah, but
can they both be true?
No, what I'm saying is just because somebody signs an affidavit doesn't mean that's a fact.
Correct. I agree.
Truth. That doesn't make. That's not really? The only. Yeah, seriously, they lie. Sorry.
But you were in law enforcement, Mike. What did you do with that? If somebody came in and signed a witness statement, what would you do with that?
Oh, I submit it along with the case.
And then what happens? Well, after you submit the case, but there's somebody that does investigation.
Yeah.
They investigate it.
Yeah.
And there is ways to investigate whether this affidavit is true, right? There's ways to do these investigations.
Yes.
Did that happen?
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, just because you have one person now, they could I could be the one person who signed an affidavit. Everything I'm saying, hey, they could. Then somebody else comes and question me, and I stick to my story, right?
Sure.
Hey, but it's only Mike. We only have one person. That's
okay.
We can't win the case with him.
Sure. No, I totally get that.
Or the judge says, hey, this is all you got, so it's his word against his word. That's not good. That's not enough.
But if Mike says he saw something, he did this, you investigate it. That's my point. It's just not you don't read it and say
sufficient evidence.
Yeah, but you investigate it. Somebody investigates it, and then they bring the case to the judge.
Hey, I got something stolen out of my car. They didn't investigate, bro. Didn't even come out and do a little fingerprint thing, man.
They ain't got time to waste for that. They ain't wasting time on that. I think this is like kind of a little more important than whatever was stolen out of your car.
Oh, really? Shit,
yeah. I think, I don't even know what it was, unless it was like the presidential coin. I don't know.
It's my damn phone charger, dude.
Oh, right.
Oh my God.
Let's open an investigation. I mean, I know we did that, but high profile stuff. Are you kidding me? Like, in the military, anytime you had high profile anything, everybody was on it. Like Bubba Williams, or what was his name? Bubba Wallace Williams. Bubba Wallace. Remember that noose that was found?
Yeah.
I can't get it right. The assault on the president, the White House. I can't get it. Bubba Wallace had a noose on his, they have 7 FBI agents dispatched? 7 to find out this is a pull cord that's on other garages. And you've got the biggest election in the world, and who investigated it?
Yeah, they brought it to court. You know of.
Well, do you know what happened?
Why don't I know? The biggest election in the country in years, the most controversial. Maybe not most controversial. There was president's shot, but huge moment in history, and we don't know it was disproved or investigated. That sounds a little odd to me. Wouldn't that be easy? Wouldn't it be easy to just say, look, here, we just disproved it. We just did this, 2-year investigation. Here's our full report. Wouldn't it? No, not curious at all.
No, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, even with the Russian collusion thing, I was like, okay, what's the evidence? When I was talking to people and they couldn't bring me, oh yeah, this, that, Putin said, I'm like, okay, that's not good enough for me.
Well, the whole feel of that, though, was that they were leaving it open to hopefully find something. So they had a crime and they were looking for the evidence. They didn't have the evidence and then tried to figure out what the crime was.
Well,
That
right
was the
here,
feel of it.
yeah, okay.
And you could say that's similar to this. Okay, so we've got a
Yeah,
crime.
that's where I was going with that.
Right, sure, you can say that. But that's what I'm saying. So now when all these people come forward, you at least have something. So like the Russian collusion, all those people that made those statements, we can go ask them. And some of them are like, no, we just said that in jest in the bar. Someone say, oh, no, we didn't say that. I mean, so you can find that. Every one of those people could have been interviewed.
Well, not at the time that they were signing affidavits and everything, Jim. You wouldn't have access to that information. It's only until after the investigation was over, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, they didn't have an investigation, so.
No, I'm talking about for the Russian collusion thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now with this one, we don't know when the Freedom of Information Act. We don't know when we can get that information.
The Mueller investigated the actual investigation that was appointed by our government.
Right.
Appointed because they thought the Trump collusion was very serious in this crime.
Because you had multiple members of the left pushing that.
Right. So that was so important.
Right. And on this one, you don't have multiple members of the right pushing this election fraud.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's where we're like Brian was talking about, and you're talking about the judges and stuff. That's the stuff that has me puzzled, because like Mitch McConnell, his flip, but we already know about Mitch. We already know about what he does and whose side he takes. He's preserving himself. I mean, we know that. So is that evidence that they don't care, or I mean, I don't know. I'm confused.
Could be evidence that they just want to move on.
Yeah.
They maybe they see a whole lot more than we do.
Yeah. Well,
so why can't it be that they just say, this ain't gonna go nowhere, guys. We need to end this.
Right. And they need to preserve it for our democracy.
Yeah, there we go. Right back to that.
Yeah. I agree.
Hey, Brian, what was that you said about 2 minutes ago?
Brian just comes in and starts the fights, and he just sits
Why
back
is
and
he
watches.
muting himself?
I think that was the host, dude.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
no, I didn't mute you.
No, I have to pee. I'm about to pull the pin on my pee-pee.
No, shoot. Okay.
Oh, is that why you wanted to pull the pin? All right. Well, this is a good time to pull the pin. We can do it now. We can save this banter for another day.
Pull the pin on my pee-pee. Say that quick.
No, but you gotta add already in there. You gotta pull the pin already on my pee-pee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pull the pin already on my pee-pee.
All right. Anyways, he wants to go to the bathroom, but we're talking 10 minutes about pulling the pin on his pee-pee.
Yeah.
So we'll do this then. We will go into our pull the pin segment, and we will let Brian go first so he can sneak out of here.
So he can get out of here, right?
He almost said it again. I got it. You know what we got to pull the pin on? The Russian collusion and the stolen election. We got to lose it all. I'm in with you, Mike. You changed my mind, and I think it makes total sense. Let's pull the pin on both of them. Let's move forward. Let's just go with the next election, and let's move on. You know what I mean? And let's make the next election more consistent. Maybe they'll get a little better system going. That's all. We got it. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We just get better, baby.
Move on. Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along.
It'll be great, man. It'll be great. It'll be the best ever. It'll be so secure next year, man. It'll be great.
You know, that was a perfect pull the pin. Just perfect. Nothing else but perfect.
It'll be great.
I agree, Brian, but the proof will be if it ever is improved, or if the can is kicked down the street again to the next. So if you're going to improve it, I'm all for it. And I think that's why this isn't a lost cause. If we can make changes and make improvements, like something like voter ID cards, wow, what a concept. Maybe we can improve things, but if they kick it down the can, holy cow.
Why is it that a driver's license can't be your voter ID card?
No kidding.
Right, why can't it?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Not everybody has one, so it would have to be your valid ID, whatever that
is. Yeah, your state ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has your address on it, right? It's got,
you
get your tickets in the mail, and
or hilarious. I don't care if it has your address, correct address on it or not, because some people
I was gonna say,
just scan it.
Cause no problem. Yeah.
All you gotta do is scan the damn card, man.
Yep.
Damn right.
Trying to tell me we in this day and age we can't come up with a system on that? Come on.
And it got your picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Look, it looks just like you. And even if it's fake, it's not like everybody can do it.
That's right.
Wow. So we'll cut down the fraud to at least the people who know how to make driver's license.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be quite an accomplishment.
They're too busy with identity fraud, man. They're not worried about an election, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they're creating them right now for immigrants, illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In California.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sure
damn
they are.
hospitals overran.
Well, you laugh, but they did pass that to allow illegal immigrants to get driver's license.
They did in California. They literally built more DMVs for it because there was such an influx. And I knew one of my professors in college, community college, so I guess it's a teacher, but he was teaching Spanish. He was teaching the class in Spanish.
Wow.
He was making like $50 a head.
And I'm crazy.
Damn.
Driver's ed class.
And I'm crazy for thinking they're tying up hospitals, right?
And he was a millionaire. He worked in real estate, so he was a millionaire. Caldwell Banking, you know that thing?
Yeah.
You had to go to the bathroom, dude.
He was like one of the guys that started that, but he says he did that for extra cash. I'm like, this guy.
Wow. Damn. That's something else.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, you want to go next?
You're free to go to the bathroom if you'd like, Brian, or you can just hang out, wait for us to finish.
I'll be respectful.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll go, Mike, if you want to wait for yours.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the pin on, I don't know how to describe it, but I'll call them selfish people. When I talk about selfish people, it's those people that, you know, they find some loophole, whether it's illegal, unethical, or just maybe it's a legal loophole, whatever, but they do it and they think they're so smart and you're stupid. Like you're trying to do the ethical, correct thing. And the two examples I could think of is like one at school drop off. There's a road right next to the school that's just for police cars or whatever. So I see this lady coming down there because she doesn't want to drive all the way around the block to drop her kid off. And I'm sitting there like, she's almost like she's like, oh, look how smart I am. Nobody found this shortcut. Or another good example, back in the day, I don't know if they do it anymore. They have gas stations with pumps and they used to have arrows. And people would pull in the wrong way because they don't want to wait in line. And they're like, oh, look, I'm so clever. I figured out how to get my gas before people because they're not smart enough. Like, I can't stand that. No, we're waiting in line because it's the right thing to do. So I want to pull the pin on all those people. And if you're one of them, yeah, done. Stop it.
What the fuck was that?
That was my WAP thing. Was it the WAP? What did that? What's her name? Man, I can't even think of her name.
Cardi B?
Cardi B. Yeah, what she used to do? She made some noises. I don't know. Anyways, do your thing. Yeah, I can't do it. There's probably a cultural appropriation or something. I can't do that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'll try to bring some levity into it. You know, I've been watching some TV shows, movies, and there's one line that's in almost every movie or television show. I had no choice. Seriously, at some point in a television show, someone's going to say that. And I'm getting sick and tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. And it's like, this is what Hollywood's teaching us. Hey, we make decisions because we had no choice. And most of the time, it's because, I did something to protect my family, but now Jim wants to protect his family. And I say, no, you can't do that. And Jim's like, well, you did it. Well, I had no choice. You know what I mean? And my wife, every time she hears it, she'll stop the show, call me, say, babe, we got another one. And she'll call me. And she'll show me. I'm like, God, man, I can't believe it.
Now I'm going to notice them all.
Exactly, man.
I like watching a lot of movies. I'm
telling you, you're going to hear it. I had no choice.
Yeah.
And it's just tiring, man. I can't stand it.
That's crappy too. Brian, weren't we just talking about that?
What's that?
The choice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a choice. You might not like the outcome, but you have a choice.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. My pull the pin, guys.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm going to see it every show now.
It's not a repeat, Mike. We appreciate that. But that is all the time we have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed at least something out of this. Hope you didn't get as frustrated as we get. Actually, we have a great time, but hope we come back next time. Until then, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Get some.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin already.